we could look at one sector of the market that's actually been on a tear in the month of June, it's one of the most unlikeliest of sectors. It's in fact the power utility sector, the power discom sector. This is the sector that's actually doing very, very well. Now, what market analysts are saying, what market participants are saying is that this particular part or this particular section of the market that's typically been an underperformer for quite some time, at this point of time is actually seeing quite a bit of traction due to the unlocked trade that's being seen across the markets. So power companies, power discoms, power utility firms are seeing increased demand traction, better collection efficiencies as the economy slowly revives and slowly reopens. So what the other thing is that the reopening trade at this point of time is regaining momentum. Sectoral rotation is being seen across the market. In fact, power demand has recovered quite significantly from the lows seen during the second wave of COVID-19. In fact, newspaper reports indicate that June power consumption is up almost 12% on a year-on-year basis compared to the same time last year, indicating the kind of demand recovery that is being seen across the entire space. Industrial as well as commercial power are two parts of the entire sector that again continues to do quite well. In the month of June, power companies have done very well for themselves in the stock market. NTPC has gained over 5%, Power Grid over 4%, Torrent Power over 8%, CESC over 11%, and Tata Power gaining over 10%. So these are stocks that are doing quite well. Important to see whether the trend sustains and whether collections, especially for discoms, continues to improve.
All right, thanks so much for putting that in context, Vivek. Let me introduce our guests, and we've got Kunal Bothra as well as Gaurang Shah joining us on the program. And I want to toss it first to Kunal. Good morning, first of all, to both of you. Kunal, this is a sector where a couple of names have actually just heated up and gained from strength to strength. What are the charts indicating to you as to the pick out of the bunch?
So, good morning, Alex. Good morning, everyone. Again, the power sector of late has emerged to be one of the top movers, from the mid-cap arena. There have been so many stocks which have been buzzing, right from the memes of high flyers like Adani Power to more of a consistent stock like Tata Power. What I'm flagging up, for the stocks and concentrating more on the stronger and the solid names is Tata Power. I think the stock is looking absolutely strong on the short term as well as on the medium term charts. And there's some very intriguing patterns which have happened for Tata Power. So, when you look at it on the quarterly charts, the stock has had almost 4 or 5 straight quarters of a strong uptrend health. But more importantly, what has happened is that on many of the momentum indicators, and we are talking about the quarterly charts, have confirmed a breakout on Tata Power on the longer term on the quarterly chart kind of a time frame. So which means that there is a strong possibility that what you are seeing right now could not just be a short-lived rally or a recovery. Yes, the stock may go through a strong bout of consolidations as such. But when you see such strong quarterly breakouts, it results into multi-years of uptrend into stock prices. And we've seen those evidences play out in the thick of the bull market as well. So I believe that's the case, and Tata Power could be one of the better bets, more of a stable stock. I think even at current levels of 120 approximately, it should be go down from a longer term view.
All right, that is Kunal's view coming in on the power sector. Good morning, Kunal, as well as Gaurang. And Gaurang, coming over to you, is the power sector moving ahead with the anticipation that now that you have the localized lockdowns being lifted, you have the second wave ebbing, so there is going to be a huge demand. Do you think that this particular theory for power sector will hold in the longer run, and fundamentally is everything actually sound with the power sector for it to be actually perched at a 10-year high?
Thank you, Cheryl, and morning to all of you also. Our sense at Geojit is that power generation and power discoms and power distribution and transmission companies are likely to do well over the next many years, and that is primarily because of the initiatives that were taken by the government a couple of years back, and that was improving the strength of the SEBs, that is State Electricity Board. Secondly, viability in terms of pricing of per unit of power. Thirdly, capping the power theft that usually is rampant across India. Fourthly, in power generation, if you have to look at, then you have to look at a couple of core parameters. One of them is, of course, the reach. Second one is the management pedigree and capability of expanding business. Now, if I have to take all these things into consideration, then our sense at Geojit is that amongst the power generating companies, Tata Power stands out quite strong, primarily because of the reach that it has. And as you were discussing with your colleague a while back, they have acquired retail power distribution in Odisha, wherein they have added close to about 11.7 million customers, thereby expanding its base. They are also venturing out into solar power in a big way, and they are adding new capacities. So my sense is that if you have to look at one particular stock in power generation, then Tata Power would be the stock. Not to forget, it has got great pedigree as well. And as the financials of the SCBs improve, I think power generation companies are likely to throw in more possibility, especially with Tata Power because of the venture into solar business as well, which pan India they have rolled out a blueprint. I think a conservative target on Tata Power could be somewhere close to about 145, and I think it's after a long period of time, it has taken off decisively 120 levels and moved up to 124 and beyond as we speak. So Tata Power would be the stock amongst power generating companies.
All right.